Alrighty, folks, welcome to the weekly Rise and Grind team call where I hop on here, talk about some stuff. Hopefully you guys take notes and get something out of it. Today I'm going to make fairly quick because it's simple and to the point. Starting off with recognition, of course, Success Club going out to Kaylee at 6, myself at 3, Chelsea Fox at 3, Dawn at 2, and Rebecca Linville at 2. And no new coaches this week. So moving forward, today I wanted to talk about a couple different things. Number one is going to be tracking what you're doing every single day, because I've definitely learned from my own experience of trying to keep everything in my head and not write anything down and track. I found through that experience that 6 months flies by and you look at where you're at and you realize you have not progressed as much as you should have or could have. So you guys all know by now what I've been doing recently to track my stuff is using an actual big calendar. I got at Walmart for like $4. Got some highlighters, and I've been writing down very simple tasks. Usually my top 3 are Shakeology, workout, personal development. Those are on every single day, and I actually write them out by hand. So that way, if I do them, it gets a green highlighter mark, and then if I miss them for whatever reason, I have to highlight in orange. And I can tell you, I don't like putting the orange one on there, so it forces you to do stuff as opposed to just trying to wing it every day. So moving into a little bit more about tracking, I have a paragraph I want to read. Out of Good Old Compound Effect. You guys have all heard about this book by now. If you have not read this book, get it, read it, study it. This thing I have read twice so far all the way through, and I still get something new out of it every single time. What I love about personal development material too, it's not like you read these books one time, get a little bit of information out of it, and then you never read it again. As you progress in life and in your business and you get to a different spot, you're going to go back and read this stuff, and you're going to get something different out of it because you're in a different spot in your life. So that's what I love about this. And this particular one I just read yesterday, and this really popped out at me. Kind of goes right along with tracking and the difference between the tiny little baby steps that you take every single day that compound effect into that greater result. So this paragraph is called The Unsung, Unseen Hero. Once you start tracking your life, your attention will be focused on the smallest things you're doing right, as well as the smallest thing that you're doing wrong. And when you choose to make even the smallest course corrections consistently over time, you'll begin to see amazing results. But don't expect immediate fanfare. When I say small course corrections, I'm talking truly invisible. Chances are no one's going to notice them anytime soon. There will be no applause. No one is going to send you a congratulation card or a trophy for these disciplines. And yet, eventually, their compounding effect will result in an exceptional payoff. It's the littlest disciplines that pay off over time, the effort and preparation for the great triumph that happened when no one was looking. And yet the results are exceptional. And this is one of my favorite examples that they give. A horse wins by a nose, but gets 10 times the prize money. Is the horse 10 times faster? No, just a little bit better. But it is those extra laps around the track, the extra discipline in the horse's nutrition, or the extra work by the jockey that made the results a slight bit better with compounded rewards. That right there sums up the difference between people who are successful and people who are not, because people who are successful do tiny little bits of extra work each day. And like this says, it's these little tiny extra bits of work. They're not anything that anyone's really going to notice per day. It's not going to be anything that anyone's going to send you a congratulations card. You did your workout when you didn't want to. And these little tiny things, they're simple. It's when you're stuck with, do I write a blog post or do I watch an episode of my favorite TV show? Do I do my workout or do I go hang out with friends? Do I drink my Shakeology or do I eat something bad? It's those little tiny choices that you make. No one's going to notice them right off the bat because they're such small choices. And this is why it's so easy to get caught up in this mindset of slacking and procrastinating, because in the moment, that choice doesn't seem like a big deal. But you add up enough of those no big deal moments, and they will add up to the big compound effect, which can be a good or a bad thing. If you make a small amount of right choices consistently, it's going to lead up to success down the road. If you make the right amount of bad choices consistently, 6 months or a year down the road, you're going to reflect back and go, wow, I haven't moved an inch. I'm still where I was 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So that is why I wanted to share that little excerpt with you guys. So again, compound effect. If you have not read this book, get it, because this thing is full of awesome material like that. And another thing, guys, because I've been so strict on myself with my reading lately, just do it. Reading your personal development every single day is a prime example of one of those little tiny extra bits of work that if you do it consistently, it will ultimately help you out more than you know right now. It's such day to day, it's such a small piece of your day, 15 minutes per day, guys, inside one of these books. If you have the time freedom, like myself, my minimum is 1 hour. 1 hour per day with my face inside of a book. I don't count the other 2 to 3 hours I get from audio and video, because when I do my Body Beast workouts in the morning, I don't follow the actual video. I keep the worksheet so I can write my weights down, and I actually blast motivational material based on speakers. But I don't count that towards my personal development, because personal development for me is going to be coming out of these books, because it's something you can have right in front of you that's tangible. You can read it, you can study it, you can highlight, you can take notes, which is what I do. I use my I love this thing. I need to figure out how to get it embroidered like this. I use my Team Beachbody notebook as my personal development journal. So all the personal development that I read, I'm taking notes down inside of this thing. So going back to that paragraph I just read, those little tiny actions, it's the same thing as, there's a great video I should share inside the group that I've seen, maybe you've seen it too, where it talks about the boiling point in water. And when that extra 1 degree is all it takes to go from just really, really hot water to boiling, that 1 extra degree is all it takes. And if you do that 1 extra degree every single day, I can promise you are going to see bigger results than you even know. Another great example that Darren Hardy's given at the Summit presentation he gave, he talks about if you have a plane that's taking off from LA with the destination of going up to New York, if the nose of that plane is even 1 degree off, 1 degree, and when you're talking about 360 degrees, 1 degree is unnoticeable. That's from here to here. Not even noticeable. But that 1 degree, if you're going up to New York, that 1 degree ultimately is going to drop you off, I think it was 300 something miles off course at the end destination. So that could be your life a year from now. If you are 1 degree off every single day, 1 degree of making the bad choice, you're going to be 300 miles away from your destination in a year. It's the same thing if you're making the right choice. If you're putting in that little bit of an extra effort every single day, doing your personal development, Shakeology, inviting those 3 to 5 people per day. Inviting is one of the hardest things to do, and it's any type of business, not just Beachbody. Any type of business, the hardest part is always building clientele. In the massage business I ran into the same thing, where the hardest part is inviting. But if you're not out there inviting, how are you ever going to get those yeses that you're looking for? You have to be out there in the trenches, talking to people, inviting people. So back to my bullet point here, tracking. You have to be tracking this stuff every day, guys. So how do you track? A couple different ways, and I've been experimenting with several different ways over the months. So the top 3, number 1 is the business activity tracker. We've talked about this thing many times. If you're newer in the group and you don't know what I'm talking about, business activity tracker you can find in your back office under news and training and Coach Training Academy and resources. You'll see business activity tracker back there. So it's basically a little box, big chart, has every little detail you can think of, and it's pretty strict. So if you need a lot of structure and something to tell you what to do every day, print off the business activity tracker, get it laminated so you can use a dry erase marker on it and wipe it clean every day, unless you want to print out a new one each day and use a pen. But you can go through each day and check off what you're actually doing. So I played around with that for a while, and I just, for whatever reason, I could not stick with it. It was a huge struggle for me to stick with that thing every day. So I took the best of all of the business activity tracker material that was on there, paired with a little bit of my own stuff with Instagram and Facebook. And I made what I call the GSD list, which is the get shit done list, because we all have days where we wake up and we feel lazy, but we also have days where we wake up refreshed and we think, you know what, I'm going to get some stuff done today. And that's what I made that list for. So that you can find inside of the team group, Team Rise and Grind, the coaching group. Click on photos and you'll see it in there because I posted. It's a big yellow task list. So you can print that off. Again, you can print it off every day, cross it out, or you can just use it as a reference. So I put mine up on I moved my desk recently. I'll take a picture. Moved my desk into the kitchen, and right next to the fridge, I laminated it and put it on the fridge so I can see it right there and mark it off as I go. So along with the GSD list, the ultimate tool that has seriously helped me out with my tracking, and it's really made me realize how my habits and my routines are playing out, because I'm noticing I'm really on track for 3 or 4 days and then I slack for a few days. I would have never caught on to that if I wasn't doing this highlighter thing. And that's based on that calendar I talked about in the beginning. So the last one is get an actual calendar. It can be a small planner or it can be a big desktop calendar like what I have. And like I said, I wrote down simple activities to do on there each day. And I just go through and I highlight them, whether I did them or I missed them. There's no in between. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. It's very cut and dry. Did I do it or did I not? I'll schedule out my blog posts, 3 to 4 blog posts per week, and I'll write it on there. So again, if I didn't do it, it gets a orange mark. And I don't like seeing those oranges. There's more on there right now than I would like to be. But when next month comes around, I can reflect back and say, okay, here's the percentage of stuff I actually followed through with. I'm going to try to do this much better this month. So I'm a huge fan of that calendar idea, guys. So if you have thought about doing it, just stop thinking about it and just do it. So with that, accountability for how you're tracking is going to be another big thing. So start whatever way or method you use to stay accountable and use a tracking. Take your accountability up to the next level. Post it inside the group every single week. It can be every Sunday, every Monday morning, whatever day you want. Just post it inside the group every single week. That way you have eyes that are on that thing. And when you have public accountability, it automatically makes you do that much better each day. So second bullet point was something that Trina Gray talked about on today's National Wake Up Call, which was awesome. She gave 10 different bullet points just on how to follow through with your dreams. And I loved each of them. One of them she talked about was be a collector of success stories, of testimonials. Because again, I've talked about this stuff before. People will connect with a story way more than they will connect with facts. If you are sitting here trying to list off every little ingredient inside of Shakeology and the price breakdown and all this specific stuff, you're going to lose people. But if you're talking about a story of, you know what, let me tell you about my mom who started drinking this stuff, and within a week, she had lost 3 inches off her stomach and she felt incredible. Her digestion was better. Her bloating was gone. Those are the kinds of things that people connect with. Same thing with the programs. So be a collector of success stories. I'm currently in the process of creating a success wall in my garage because I've turned my garage into my gym. So I put up a shelf and I have a display of all my Beachbody programs and workouts. And then above that on the wall, I'm creating a success stories wall. So I actually created a quick little I think it's 6 or 7 question, just kind of an interview style. It's I actually snatched that from the Beachbody Challenge. Their winners fill out this little survey on the program and how they felt and why they started. And so I snatched that, tweaked it a little bit, and I've actually posted that as a file inside the group. So go click on files and you'll see the interview questions. So these are things that you can send out to your customers, even your coaches. and start collecting these success stories, because when you're talking to a prospect or a lead about a program, let's say, PIO or 21 Day Fix, you're able to say, you know what, let me tell you something. I just got my friend John on 21 Day Fix, and let me tell you about his results in 21 days. You should be able to have, like Jimmy Nelson says, have 5 stories of different, keep variety too. Have a P90X story, because P90X is the most common, most popular, most well-known. Have a business success story. You can use myself. I was able to fire my boss, and I do Beachbody full-time now. I was able to pay off my entire car loan, which took me forever, but I finally, because of Beachbody, was able to put double payments down and pay that thing off and get it out of my life. And that was $500 a month, and that was a pain in my butt for 6 years. So use Jason, our upline. The guy makes 6 figures doing Beachbody full time, and he was able to quit his Red Robin's job. So have these kind of stories lined up, so when you're talking to people, you can actually give them real life results. Beachbody, a lot of coaches out there make the mistake of always trying to, make Beachbody seem like it's just ice cream and rainbows all day long. And it's not. It takes work. It sucks at time. And I'm talking not just the business, but doing a program yourself to hit your physical goal. Weight loss sucks. You have to restrict yourself on how much you're eating and what kinds of food you're eating. Same thing with doing like Body Beast, trying to gain muscle. You have to eat more than you're used to of the right foods. You have to go through pain in the workouts. You have to, Body Beast wise, you have to lift heavier. You have to have good form. If you're doing something like Insanity, you need to push into that burn a little bit more. 21 Day Fix, you need to make sure you're eating your containers. It sucks. There are some days where you just want to quit and give up and just say, you know what, I'm done with this. I've been doing this for so long. I haven't seen much progress. I'm done. And it's those people that say I'm done and quit on themselves that are always going to have to restart. And I tell you one thing, guys, it is so much easier to get on track and stay on track and push through those struggles and push through that pain and just keep going no matter what, than it is to hit pain and struggle, quit, come back and try to get some type of momentum going again. Momentum it's a powerful thing. It can work for you or against you, because when you get momentum going, it's like trying to push a boulder. It's going to take a lot of force up front to get a big boulder to roll, but once it's rolling and you keep pushing it, that momentum is going to keep it going. But if you stop that boulder and quit on yourself and you come back down the road and say, you know what, I want to try this again, you have to start all over and give that boulder a huge boost of force to get it rolling again. It's the same thing with an airplane. It's going to take, if you have a plane that's sitting here, and it takes a lot of force from those engines to get that plane moving off the strip. And 800 feet down the strip, it starts to take off. It still takes a lot of force. But once that plane is at 38,000 feet, cruise control, it gets a little bit easier. You have to do the navigating. You have to make sure you're on track and you're not falling off by 1 degree. You have to make those adaptations and those adjustments along the way. But ultimately, you don't have to put that huge force in like you did in the beginning. So don't quit on yourself no matter what. Last one. I'm sorry, I have 2 more. One more. Number 3 is going to be focus on what you can do today. This was another one Trina Gray talked about today, and I absolutely loved it because she was spot on with it. Too often inside of the Beachbody world, we look at these giant, extravagant goals. 15-star diamond, the Millionaires Club, Success Club 5 every month. We look at these huge goals, and number 1, the self-doubt creeps in, and you start to tell yourself, that's for them. Good for them. How am I ever going to do that? I'm just little old me. It's so easy to let that negative crap get into your head and take over your life. And it's usually those moments that you just pull back and you say, why even try? I don't think I can get up there. Why even try? So it's not about focusing on necessarily the big picture and hitting Success Club 5 or 10 every month and getting 15-star diamond right away. That stuff is tough. That comes with time and practice and consistency and confidence. But you focus on what you can do today. Okay, I do have a 30-minute break later. I can sit down and write a blog post. Okay, I guess I do have time to squeeze in my workout that I was going to skip. I guess I do have time today to pick up the phone or go out and find a Fit Club location. I guess I do have time to create a challenge group and start inviting people to it. Focus on what you can do today and make a list of it, because everyone's goals and everyone's methods are different. So make a list of what fits you. What can you do starting today, every single day, that's going to help you progress personally and in your business? And again, get yourself a calendar. Decide, okay, I'm going to drink my Shakeology every day. I've been slacking on that a lot. I'm going to start drinking it every day. I'm going to start doing my workout 5-6 days a week. I'm going to follow my program. I'm going to stick with that calendar and stop slacking off. I'm going to invite 2 people a day to my upcoming challenge group. Start writing those down on your daily calendar or your daily agenda and mark them off as you do them, because when you see those things right there, and put it in a spot you can see it, guys. Like I said, I have my desk set up, so I have my calendar on my desk where I keep my laptop, so I'm constantly glancing down at it. And then on my fridge, I have my GSD list. So I have, between those two things, I can't help but just look over and be like, oh crap, I forgot to send out my follow-ups. I forgot to invite people to my challenge group. So I'm able to stop what I'm doing and focus on those. So focus on what you can do today, because Success Club 10 might be really, really far out of your reach. But guess what? Success Club 5, a little bit easier to hit. Maybe you can't quite get 5 points right away. Focus on 1 point. It's all going to be these tiny baby steps that lead up to the big success. And a lot of people are just simply afraid to even try because they're already thinking about the failure. And guys, I can tell you right now, success is built on the foundation of failures. No one that has ever been successful, including our own CEO, Carl Daikeler of Beachbody, no one has ever built a successful business the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. It's going to take struggle. You're going to fail more than once at different things. I can't tell you how many times I picked up this book to read the whole thing, and I only made it a couple pages in. That right there was a huge failure. I can't tell you how many months I had that book until I actually finished it. It's the same thing with challenge groups. I can't tell you how many challenge groups I've hosted, at least 50, and over half of them, complete failures. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people about coming to Fit Club and no one shows up. Failure is not something you should fear. It's, again, being successful, it's this thing we all want, but very few people are willing to put in the failures and face those fears to actually achieve it. That's why there's so few people at the top. It's called a mountain. There's so few people at the top of the mountain that all of us down at the bottom, we look up and go, oh, wow, good for them. I don't know how I'll ever get there. They're no different than you guys. The top 10 coaches, all the 15-star diamonds, they are no different than anyone else. The only difference that they've made is they show up every day. They follow their to-do list, no matter how they feel. Building a business, I've definitely learned you cannot go based on feelings. Feelings and emotions will destroy your motivation. There's going to be so many days that you wake up and you go, man, I don't really feel like making a video today. I don't feel like making that blog post. I don't feel like talking to anybody. I don't feel like following up with my messages. It's those days that it's going to show if you're going to make it or not, because the successful people do it anyways. Doesn't matter how they feel. Doesn't matter if they're sick. I mean, geez, there's some people that no matter if they're sick, whatever's going on in their life, they still show up and do their task list every single day. So focus on what you can do today, guys. Make a list of what you can do. Don't focus on all the stuff you can't do. Focus on what you can do. Last one. It is your job to do what you know you need to do, no matter how you feel. I kind of just touched base on that one already. As a Beachbody coach, when you hit submit and you sign up, yes, you're joining a team. Yes, you have myself or someone else on the team as your upline coach, as your sponsor, and we're here to help you and mentor you and guide you. But ultimately, the second you hit that submit button, you joined Team Beachbody as a CEO. It does not happen right out of the gate for a lot of people like myself. It took me, I don't even know how long. I wasted probably 3.5 years just kind of treating this thing like a hobby. until I went to my Bahamas trip, and I had my eye-opening moment where I saw all these successful people just living life. And all I could think about was, I have to go back home to a 6-day-a-week job that I hate, to working weekends, to never spending time with my wife, to never seeing my family, to never going on trips on the weekends because I worked full time. That was my big moment. So when I came home, I put my foot down. I said, I am going to make this thing work. And part of that was accepting and acknowledging the fact that this is all on me. I have to take 100% responsibility for myself, my actions, and I cannot blame my team, my lack of training, my lack of support. A lot of guys, a lot of people, maybe yourself, you see me as somebody who's had I've had some success in Beachbody. I still have a long ways to go till I reach my big goals. I've had some success in Beachbody, enough to be able to fire my boss. But at the same time, I had to stop playing the blame game, because Jason and I, when we signed up, Jason's my upline coach, if you don't know. Jason and I signed up, we didn't have a team. We didn't have trainings. We didn't have support. We didn't have challenge groups. We didn't have any of it. Jason and I started everything you guys see here today. Our business opportunity webinars that I host every Tuesday now, our challenge groups that I invite everyone into, all those things are because I took responsibility. I stopped leaning on our little team we had built back in the day, and I branched out and I said, I have these ideas of stuff that would be really great for a team, and I'm just going to make them happen. I'm not going to sit around and wait for other people to do it anymore. And it's becoming my own CEO and taking responsibility was the ultimate decision I made that got me to where I'm at today. And it's that decision that I make every day. Every day I wake up, I have to tell myself, because I am a naturally lazy person. I will be the first to admit it. Trista will be the first to admit it. I am naturally a lazy person. I don't enjoy doing some of these tasks every day. I don't like the monotonous everyday routine. I'm a very spontaneous, adventurous person. So for me to sit down every day and follow a list, it sucks. I don't like doing it, but guess what? Because of this last bullet point, it is my job to do what I know I need to do every day. And I cannot make excuses. I cannot blame other people for my lack of success or my failures. It is 100% my responsibility. So again, track what you do every single day. It's just like in weight loss, guys. If you're not tracking what you're eating, chances are you're not going to be losing the weight that you need to lose. If you need to lose 100 pounds, you need to track your calories or do 21-day fix and track your portions, your containers. But if you're not tracking, how do you expect to ever get ahead? It's the same thing in business. You have to be tracking what you're doing every day if you want to reach a goal. Be a collector of success stories. Your own clients, collect other success stories from other coaches, but have a handful of success stories you can reach into that pocket and pull out when you need to talk to somebody about Beachbody. Focus on what you can do today. Common ones are Start a Fit Club, videos, challenge groups, and blog posts. And I say those 4 because those 4 are all I focus on. I don't do any type of specific article writing. I don't do any pay-per-click advertising. I don't do any network marketing stuff. I focus on those 4 things. Because if you are trying to spread yourself too thin and do 10 different outlets and 10 different things, you're never going to get a whole lot done. So you pick the 3 to 5 things you're really good at and focus on those. And last, take responsibility and know that you need to be doing every single day. You need to know that it is your job to do the things you know you need to do. Don't let emotions get into your way and take your motivation away and sit on the couch and watch TV and pig out. It is your job as a Beachbody coach to invite people. It is your job as a Beachbody coach to become the best and strongest version of yourself so you can teach other people how to do that. That's your job. So if you don't do those things, you don't get paid, and you never will. It's when you do these things consistently, every single day, over time, compound affecting into the bigger result. So again, if you guys have not got the clue yet, compound effect is life. Get that book, read it, take notes, study it. and share everything you learn with the group. We are a team, and I've been guilty of it lately too. I don't like the lack of activity in groups, especially our team group. I believe that we should have the most active team out of every group we've ever done. So that's why you're going to see me posting a lot more inside of our team group, because I want this to be an active family. And I gave this example in a post a while back. Our team and Beachbody teams, they're like families. We're going to have the close brothers and sisters and the parents, and you're going to have, those are the ones, the core group, the immediate family. They're the ones who are close. They're in there posting every day, staying active and engaged. And we're going to have the distant cousins and the aunts and the uncles that kind of pop in every now and then. You don't really see them for a while, and then you run into each other at the grocery store or something. So I want to have a close team that's a family. There's several of us in there that are absolutely close, and we do everything we can to stay active inside that group, and I absolutely love it. So you'll be seeing me post in there more, sharing more about my journey, my struggles, my failures, my life, and I hope to see you guys do the same thing. So takeaways out of today: I want you to start tracking. I don't care how you track. Use one of the things I talked about, the GSD list, business activity tracker, or a calendar. But I want you to do something that is tracking. So when you're finished watching this recording, post inside of the team group and say, here's what I'm going to start. Even better, take a picture of whatever you're going to use. Share it in the group. Be accountable. Second takeaway is going to be, make the decision that this Beachbody thing, it's 100% on you. We are here as a team. I'm here as your mentor to help you and support you and guide you, but I will not do the work for you. I am not your boss. I'm not going to tell you all these detailed step-by-step processes, because there is no such thing. The big secret everyone is looking for in this business is just doing it every single day. It's the consistency that is the missing link in a lot of people's lives. Consistency in anything. So those are your two takeaways for this video, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch the recording. This has been Coach Chaz. Peace out. Keep up the great work to those of you who are rocking Success Club every month. Absolutely love seeing that result out of the hard work you guys are doing. So anyways, you guys have a blessed night. I'll see you later.